And so, Andrews, you and I have had many discussions on this. Business intelligence is still today very prevalent, right? It's to know what's going to happen tomorrow, you kind of got to know what's happened in the past. But it's now taking really that human being that has to digest a lot of that data or parse that data and make sense of it, to try to predict it, to moving now to why it happened, and that's important, but more so letting the machine tell me a little bit about what will happen.
I think some of this is down to Todd, right? Creating that efficiency, right? Creating that opportunity to look at things with a different lens, look at things from a different viewpoint. Going back to our kind of opening slides and some of our opening discussion about hyper-localization. I think you just kind of touched on it, but it's about taking that efficiency and putting it into that hyper-localization, serving your customer, having the right products in the right place at the right time for the right price, and being able to react, using that time to then react to whatever market trends may or may not be occurring, right? Through the social channels, through customers having technology and data and digitalization within their hands, the word of mouth product that suddenly becomes a hot topic. You've been able to react to that and have that on a planogram into a store, within a matter of moments, in a time frame that will probably is exponentially so much quicker now than it probably was 12 months ago, right? Your ability to react to those kind of scenarios is going to be the key to success going forward. And I think for me, Todd, I think just on that previous slide, I think the two big area focuses for me from a kind of autonomous merchandising, the areas of opportunity are got to be in the store specific planograms, right? Being able to get that hyper localization. Now I keep talking about it, but it's a bit of a hot topic for me. But that holy grail of being how to have store specific planograms based on space aware assortments and the decisions that you took, as part of your category management strategy, filtered all the way down across several thousand stores in North America, in the North America state case, is achievable and is active, right? We certainly can absolutely do that right here, right now.
Yep.
We actually couple that on with having the store intelligence, which has seen a huge growth, I would suggest, over the last 12 months, 18 months now. The ability to then, where there are those out of stocks, to then push out to those stores and make those recommendations on what the best product should be to replace that with your inventory that you've got now, based on obviously those assortment decisions, is absolutely, certainly.
Yeah, I think one of the other things is, what is a co-pilot for those who are not aware? It's really a prompt. It's asking a question. It's asking an intent. Would you recommend, do we have 2 clusters? Yes, we do. We have, at home or on the go in my example here. And it's really mapping that and even taking it further to, provoke a task, a reason task, and an action, right? So I ask it a question, it gives me an answer, but it's also the things that we are doing now around co-pilots, not just in the assortment aspect of it, but really understanding the impacts of price or the impacts of promotion, and more importantly, the impacts of placement in the planogram. So really understanding, where are we headed from the perspective of where should this product be best merchandised? Where do we typically see better sales? What are those sales trends? Will and it coming back and recommending, you should put this on the top left corner. You should move this here. This is where you're going to get the most visibility for that product and where you're going to expose that assortment. And then, more importantly, how do we do that in automation, right? And how do we help automation from not just a model perspective to build the multiple blocking planograms, but having that same chat GPT type solution that I can ask, which of these planograms in this group, in this category, in this store has 5 days of supply. And it can tell me very quickly where those days of supply are. Or I want to, I have an item that is in the planogram. I've got a new item that's coming in. It didn't, for whatever reason, it's not on there. Can you please switch out this UPC for that UPC? It does it across all planograms. And then, you're reassured. And again, those mundane tasks, you're starting to ask the chatbot to do them for you. And then